The following broadcast is being brought to you by the International Olympic Committee. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and I would like to welcome you to this week's episode of Unscripted. Already in the chat, the tired midnight blogger himself, channel member Curtis W. Faithful Blue Wrench, the bird woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Check Productions. It's Connie Clary. Channel member FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Friend of the channel, swinging a blue wrench, Steve Henzak. DJ Ronnie G in the house. All right. I am a human being, I am an American, and I am the YouTube Ronin. And we're going to get on with tonight's show. All right. Good evening out there, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to say hello to everyone joining us tonight on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Please hit the like, share out the stream to let everybody know we're on. And if you are new to the channel and you like what you see, please subscribe. And I do want to thank all of the new subscribers that I have received over the last couple of weeks. Onward and upward, we're up to 2,237 subscribers. This is the road to 2,500, so tell all of your friends. All right. Now, as a lot of you know, I canceled tonight's episode of The Other Side of Midnight because I have an early day tomorrow, and that is I have been called to jury duty. Now, this has happened once before, actually, and I would say about 25 years ago, I received a summons to appear for jury duty. I got it in this piece of paper about the size of a postcard. And the odd thing about it was that it was dated 3 years before I received the summons, there was a number attached, of course, to the county clerk's office, which I called and said, I received the summons, but it was dated 3 years before. And obviously, what's the deal? I'm receiving this now. And so I read off what it said on the card to the clerk, and she said, well, you didn't receive any letters. No one in law enforcement has been to speak with you, because, of course, if you don't answer these things, within like a few days, you're in contempt of court, And I said, no one came to speak to me. No one arrested me. There's been nothing. So what do I do? And he said, well, look, it's been 3 years. No one in law enforcement has come to speak with you. You didn't receive, like, hey, where the hell are you? A message. Don't worry about it. Let it go. Was what I was told. And hello to Big Al Presents, host of Films with Friends, which I'm going to be appearing this Friday night at 8. And, of course, the 10-word review. All right. Now, like I said, I received this summons for 3 years prior, and was told, let it go. Civic efficiency, exactly. Yeah. And hello to our man in the future, Sashi. All right. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I received this new summons letter, official letterhead, the whole deal. I fill out the questionnaire, and there's nothing in the questionnaire that disqualifies me. So, yes, we are going to be watching Humanoids from the Deep. Yeah. So there's nothing on this new questionnaire that I received a couple of weeks ago that that would disqualify me. So I fill it out. I send it in, and it's snail mail, of course. Now, I am in a situation right now where I do not have a vehicle. Yeah. Which is fine. Most places I can walk or just ride my bike to. I really don't go all that far anyway. I work, someplace where I'm less than 10 minutes away from where I live. So I can just walk or ride my bike there. And I'd probably do that anyway, since it is so close. Now, I call up the county clerk's office, and I said, I sent in the questionnaire. I don't know if I sent it in, if you received it in the time required before it's considered contempt. I was really more worried about that than anything else. And I said, everything on the questionnaire, wouldn't disqualify me. However, I do have a transportation issue. Now, to preface this, I live down the street, literally right down the street, from the courthouse. Because in my town, the courthouse is in the town square, along with City Hall and all of that. So, I think, okay, if I ever go out for jury duty, okay, again, I can just ride my bike or I can walk. In either way, I'll be at the courthouse within the hour, on my own. But no, they want me to go to the next town up, which according to Google is like 33 minutes by vehicle, like 6 hours or something by bike, and like 9.5 hours by walking. Which I don't think I'm going to be able to do. And hello to Aged Boomer. Now, Aged Boomer, of course, is the my co-host on Live from Sparkwood in 21, and of course his show Geeky Geezers will be coming up here at the top of the next hour. So anyway, the point is, I literally have a courthouse right down the street from where I live that I can easily get to. But now they want me to travel into another town, basically. So I get a call back saying, we will, we understand the situation that people don't always have transportation. Dial this number on Sunday, today, Sunday, and you can arrange transportation. So I said, cool, good enough, okay. But I get another message on Friday saying, and I quote, "Your service is canceled. You do not have to appear, and have a good weekend." I do not have to go in, is the point. So I don't know what the hell happened. If they decided there was something that disqualified me, maybe they got wind that I do this broadcast, and you guys know me. I am honest, and I have a very low tolerance for BS of any kind from anybody or any organization. And so, I think they probably got the idea that I was somebody would probably be disqualified from most juries, because, I did a lot of joking around that, oh, it's some minor traffic infraction. Hang him, But it's jaywalking, firing squad, of course. Oh, I'm sorry, too harsh, According to Elisa Mercanti, I am a horrible racist. No. As Sashi said, they found out you're a YouTuber and you didn't watch The Acolyte. Yeah, how dare I? All right, I watched one episode of The Acolyte. It wasn't any good, but I watched it. So long story short, I don't have to go into jury duty tomorrow after all. So that's how that went. Now, now that I feel a little bit more free to talk about this, we do have a problem when it comes to our present day legal system. There are a lot of double standards that take place. There are as I say it, I am someone who wants the laws that are on the books enforced. Okay. To be perfectly honest, and I like I said, I did some joking around, but I'm someone who believes that the punishment should fit the crime. There are people serving life sentences because they had like a baggie of weed on them. I don't think this whole third strike thing works. There are people who want to change certain laws, and I'm saying, we're not enforcing what's on the books. And there's a double standard, because when you have left-leaning judges who let these criminals right back out on the streets to prey upon the citizenry, in particular women and children. And we've all heard the stories. There are people who are allowed into this country and nothing is done. I helped a friend from the UK emigrate legally into this country, and it was a long, drawn out process, but this is a guy who does not have a criminal record. He can bring something to the table, so to speak. Obviously, he speaks the language. He's from the UK. He just does it with an accent. That's all. And I'm like, okay, I will do whatever I can to help you. And I wrote out, this testimonial on his behalf, and like I said, it was a long process, but he was vetted, and he is now a citizen of the United States, and he is happily married and has his own business that is doing quite well. I hear from him almost every day. So We have this very long, drawn out process. But yet, we also are in a situation where there are people illegally entering the country. And that makes me angry because that is an insult to the people who went through the proper legal process and the people who are still in the middle of trying to enter this country legally. And this is something that law enforcement either can't or won't do anything about. You know, gang members shot up my neighborhood a little while back. No arrests. January 6th, and yes, I'm going to talk about January 6th, YouTube. You don't like it too fucking bad because I'm going to talk about it right now. You have people who the police let in, the Capitol Police allowed people to come in into the Capitol building. And now there are people to this day who are locked up over that. The BLM rioters killed 35 people, burnt down cities, cost billions of dollars in damage. Nothing is done to them. Why? Why do we have this double standard? Look, you are intelligent people. The people who watch this show, the people who are in my chat right now, the people who listen to this show later on, you people watching on Twitter right now, you are intelligent people. I know you are. Because I listen to what you say on your own channels or what you say in the chat. You know what I'm telling you is true. You do not need me to tell you that we have judges who don't do their jobs, because they lean politically one way or another. We have law enforcement who is hamstrung because they are afraid that if they do their jobs, they can be either sued or arrested themselves. They just want to make their paycheck and go home. That's what they do. They park their cars somewhere for 8 hours. You have juries that vote not guilty because they want revenge for the way certain groups of people have been treated. And they've said this. We've got a woman running for president right now who claims to be black and isn't, who has put more black men away as a prosecutor than probably anybody currently as a prosecutor in this country. We have We don't have prisons. We have work farms. We don't have prisoners. We have cheap slave labor. And that's why they have to keep X amount of people inside. That's why we have overcrowded prisons. And you have more people being institutionalized who can't function in the outside world anymore. Then you have people who are being rehabilitated. And that's the sad part. And I know I'm all over the place with this, but you don't need me to tell you. You watch the news. You know that the difference between the way the people on January 6th were treated and the way the BLM rioters are treated. You know there's a difference. You don't need me to tell you. You see the same news stories that I do. Not just here in America, but in Europe as well. These stories that you hear about women and children being assaulted and killed by either criminals that have been let out of jail or by people who are in those countries illegally. And it's something that has to stop. And the politicians better wake up. And the judges and prosecutors better wake up. And cops need to wake up. Because I got to tell you something. Mag dumping on an acorn didn't exactly impress me. But yeah, I don't have to go in for jury duty tomorrow. That's long story short. And I think I got a bit of an idea why. Anyway, so that's what happened there. Now you have this whole situation with the new Assassin's Creed video game. And this is going to go a little bit into that double standard that I'm talking about. And, folks, I got to tell you, plain, in feudal era Japan, there were no gay black samurais. Sorry, folks, but it's true. And you can call me an istinophobe all you want. I am not someone who is a hardcore gamer. Okay. I own some video games, but I'm a guy who's a little old school, Pac-Man, Galaga, Space Invaders. That's me. Yeah. Um, but as far as the newer stuff is concerned, I am at a point where I'm just not interested. You know, I've seen the film industry go woke. I've seen the music industry go woke. It doesn't surprise me that the video game industry's done the same. And we have Boomer in the chat right now, and I know he has more information about this than I do. But I the game journalists are even trying to blame Trump for all this. And I'm like, don't look at him and don't look at us. You're the ones who pissed off the Japanese. Okay? You're insulting the OG fans, man. Ubisoft was once one of the great publishers. Now they're trash. Yeah, you know. The Japanese care a lot about their history. It's something they take a great amount of pride in. Now, it is my understanding that the character that's in the game, this Yasuki, he is supposed to be based on a real guy. But was he a samurai? I doubt it. Was he black? I seriously doubt it. Was he gay? Couldn't tell you. But apparently he is in the game. All right. And apparently he has like a female lesbian Chinese sidekick. And that's another thing that they choose to insult the Japanese with through their own ignorance is the fact that these game developers can't seem to tell the difference between Japanese, Chinese, Korean, or what have you. They just lump it all in as Asian. They're all the same. He says, I've thought about covering the Assassin's Creed situation on Geeky Geezers, but I wouldn't know where to begin. I mean, wait, the female playable character is in Japanese. My understanding is that she's Chinese. Chinese and a lesbian, because of course. This is my understanding of it. I could be wrong, but my understanding, based on what I have heard so far, is they are interjecting a lot of Chinese culture into what's supposed to be a Japanese, set game, and you can't do that. They're two very different. Yeah, they're Asian, but they're different cultures. Now, it's a shame because, like I said, I'm not very heavily into gaming, but it seems like they're having the same issues that are going on with film and television right now. And that's the fact that you have these, woke holier than thou, you know, let's change history to suit our needs for this DEI crap. And they're going to kill the industry. And the Japanese are right to look at this game and say, what is this? All right, it's feudal era Japan. There ain't going to be no black people. There's not going to be any female representation. There's not going to be any lesbian representation or gay. Look, it's not about representation. It's not about this DEI bullshit. Okay, it is about and Nate is right here. Well, he was black slave who was actually gifted to a samurai, which basically made him like a samurai squire. This game is based on a lie by a pseudo professor. I mean, exactly. If you want to put the character into the game, put him into the game, but represent him correctly. Follow the true history. Don't make shit up. Because you're dealing with a fan base who knows their history. And now their politicians have gotten involved in this because this has been blown up the way it has. Yeah, and that's partly what this is about, Boomers. There were complaints about the lack of diversity on Shogun. Sorry, folks, but that's how it was. And you can try and change history all you want to serve your own present day 2024 needs, but people who study history, they're going to see through all of that. Then you get what you have this week with the opening ceremonies of the Olympics. Now, I am not a religious man. I belong to no church. I was raised Episcopal, which is basically like Catholic light. Half the religion, twice the guilt. It was really quite amazing. I am not a religious man. I belong to no church. I don't attend anymore. I did it one time. And I fell out with the church personally for a couple of reasons. One of them was the fact that they know they had pedophile priests and they allowed that to happen instead of disciplining these people, instead of turning them into law enforcement, they just simply transferred them to other parishes to continue what they were doing. That was one reason why I broke with the church. And then there was another reason that was a little more personal. Nothing happened to me. I want to say that up front before anybody starts wondering. It was nothing like that, and had nothing to do with the church. It was just something that I saw happen. And basically, I kind of lost my faith, and I lost faith in humanity, and I lost faith that there was some all-seeing eye that was going to protect us, that was watching 24/7. And that's on me to get past. And it's not really the point of what I want to get to. And maybe someday I'll go into that, but I don't think it's a story YouTube is going to let me really talk about, because it goes into a really, really dark subject. I am not religious, but I am not anti-religion. I do not appreciate it when you insult Christians or make a mockery of their religion. I don't like that. But that's what happened during the opening ceremonies at the Olympics. And hello to Jacob Ironside. 12 Angry Men is a great movie. I do advise seeing it. There was a remake. I didn't see it. It's based on a stage play. That's available. You can read that. Please do. Now, oh, I thought you were talking about 12 Angry Men. Indirectly. I was almost. I was going to be. I was called to jury duty. Just to let you know, Jacob, I was called to jury duty. I have since been excused. But had I not, that's what I would have been doing tomorrow. So yeah, but yeah, I did use 12 Angry Men as the thumbnail. Please see that movie. It's very well done. Now, why is it that they never make fun of the Muslim religion? Because Muslims will blow you up. You insult Islam, they'll kill you. That's their thing. Yeah. But man, they go after Christianity. And I'm someone who like I say, I stay out of these theological discussions. I'll hear you out, but I don't have opinions either way. Um, like I said, I am not religious, but I am not anti-religion. Um, if you believe in God, act that way. Um, you know, religion, whatever religion you choose, they all have certain tenets to follow. By all means, please follow them. You know, um, and if that works for you, great. I applaud that. Good for you. Good on you. Um, but I tell you what happened. Yeah, France would be on fire today had they made fun of Islam. Yeah, absolutely would. And to each their own. Yeah, I mean, that's how I look at it, Ronnie. Um, and hello to my partner in crime, Outlaw Bill. I'll be joining Bill this Thursday at 4:30 for Action Theater, and we will be watching the movie Red. All right. And welcome home, Tim. So, yeah, I mean, look, I wasn't planning on watching the Olympics anyway, you know. I had a feeling something like this was going to happen, and it did. And everybody who was involved should be ashamed of themselves tonight. I know they won't be, and they're not, and they're going to be holier than thou about it, and they're going to think, we got in our representation, they did their DEI thing, they did their diverse thing, they did their drag queen fucking thing. Fine. You know what? You aired this on television. You are showing this. You are showing your true colors to the world. And this is not going to help. This isn't going to help your cause. You know, now, there are people who are gay, lesbian, bisexual, what have you, who I know are not down with what happened during the Olympics. They are angry because it makes them look bad. You know, um, I have had people tell me behind the scenes that they're upset. And hello to the Clue channel. Now, they got their 30 pieces of silver. Yeah. It says, I'm Christian. I sure I was offended by it. Sad to say it. I'm used to it. Unfortunately, yeah. You know? Um, but, you can get used to it. But at the same time, if you turn the other cheek and you keep getting answered with bloody cheeks, where does that get you? You know, I'm not saying go out and do violence. All right, I am not saying that at all. For anybody who misunderstands or gets easily upset, what you need is and like I said, I am not someone who believes in boycotts. But I mean, if there's anybody who does not want to watch the Olympics because of what happened during the opening ceremonies, man, I'm with you. Don't watch. Hit these people in the one place they truly care about, and that's their pocketbook. Wallets closed, walk away. Hashtag wallets closed, hashtag walk away. You do not have to watch this crap. You do not have to give these people the watch hours, the clicks, the money to have them insult you. Do not do it. What the hell happened in that community to go crazy? Back in the day, they just wanted to be left alone, live their own life. Yeah, they did, and they did for a while. But now you have people who claim to speak, for the gay community, who just drank the Kool-Aid, and now we have what we got on our television sets the other night. I think even occurring quite a bit when the kids group saying God save the Queen. Yeah. In biblical times, turning the other cheek was actually an insult to the person that slapped you. Yeah. What bothers me is the double standard. And you don't need me to tell you who the people responsible for this are. You see it every day like I do. Now, I was ready to do my civic duty tomorrow. Now, for whatever reason, I was excused, and I don't have to do it, and that's fine. Now, I guess the thing that I'm trying to say at the end of the day is do your civic duty, do the right thing, so to speak. Leave the world a better place than you found it. My message tonight is the oldest, corniest story in the book. I like to believe that there's more good people out there than bad ones. And this is a country and maybe a world that's very divided right now. And we don't need to add to that division, but we do need to stick together. And if we're dealing with somebody who has a bad case of TDS, if you're dealing with people who are just going to be assholes, or people who spit on a religion because they think it's funny, I'm going to use this program to call those people out. Because they ain't got rid of me yet. And as long as you're here watching, that's what I'm going to do. And that starts at home. That starts in your town. It starts in your cities. It starts in your state. Then you go nationwide. Then you go global. And that's what you do. All right. I do not want to ignore the chat. Maybe they saw your YouTube channel, and that's why you're excused. Yeah, that I think that's possible. You're sending a lot of white people there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I should say it in my Peter Griffin voice. Yeah. All right. I had a few things start here, and thank you to the Clue channel for the $5 super chat. My friend from high school told me that the Skittles cartel does not represent the views of gay people at large. No, they don't. And that's, and that's what gay friends have told me, and I'll tell you one thing, and this might surprise some people or it might upset some people, but it's true. The gay friends that I have, for the most part, they're fairly conservative people, and they're more conservative than me. When it comes to a number of subjects. And like I said, they've all told me the same thing, that what happened, that Olympic ceremony, that made them angry. They hate that stuff. They don't like it. They're just people like us who want to be left alone. They don't want this. They don't want to involve kids in this. They don't want, there was a guy, I haven't seen the footage, and I'm not going to go looking for it, but there was like a naked guy on stage during that stuff with his, his junk out. And they showed that on television in prime time. Going back to the first topic, you mean like when criminals have more rights than victims? Yeah. Yes, and you watch The Lord of the Rings, you're basically those dudes who wore Hugo Boss uniforms in World War II. Yeah. Yeah, because apparently liking Lord of the Rings is far right now. And what about the soldiers that died for this country? They won't enforce the laws on the books. Yeah. Who am I to say what's right or wrong? But I know when something is wrong, and that was wrong. Yeah. Yeah, Skittles Cartel Alphabet Mafia. It's the same thing, basically. I make the mistake of confusing the two. I'm working on that. And in a nutshell, that's what I'm trying to say tonight. Maybe I'm not saying it in the right way, but I'm trying to avoid this sounding like I'm trying to give a civics lesson. That's the main thing. Do right by yourself. Do right by the people that are around you. That's all I'm trying to say. Because the other side doesn't. Yeah. a naked guy on stage with his junk out. There's a little kid on stage dressed in drag who's probably 11 years old. Yeah. And that's what they put on commercial television. And it's not right. All right. Now for my on-the-shelf segment this evening, and I know we're running a little long, and I want to make the next two segments quick. For my on-the-shelf segment, or maybe a couple of things I've probably brought up before, I do want to thank everyone who watched Western Cinema Presents earlier today on either my channel or on Bill's. And I wanted to bring up, we watched a movie, The Homesman, and I wanted to bring up a couple of other Westerns. A Western film that I think is very good that got slept on, and a Western novel that I don't think a lot of people are familiar with. Now, the first thing I want to bring up is The Magpie Coffin by Wiley E. Young. And it's kind of, it's a Western, but it also has horror elements to it, too. Now, I haven't sat down and read this book yet, and when I do, I'll go more into the plot. But my on-the-shelf segment, book edition for the booktubers, is The Magpie Coffin. And the movie that I wanted to bring up is one that I've mentioned in the past before, and that is Old Henry. Starring Tim Blake Nelson, who was also in The Homesman earlier today. And this is the story of a farmer and his son. They find a wounded man on their property with a bag full of money, who's being chased by a posse that are not who they claim to be either. And I don't really want to go into the plot any more than that. But very interesting film. It's got a really cool twist to it. And it's from a few years ago. Not very many people saw this movie, but it's very good. My video pick for this week, Old Henry. All right. Are there any questions before we wrap up the show? I do want to remind everybody that there will be no Other Side of Midnight tonight. At first, because I thought I was going to have to go in for jury duty, so I didn't schedule a show. Now I think I'm just going to take the night off and recharge the batteries and come back next week. I might do a special show to make up for it during the week. I'm going to be joining Troy, Netter, and Boomer for Live from Sparkwood in 21, Tuesday night at 8:30. I will, of course, be joining Outlaw Bill for Action Theater, 4:30 on Thursday, and also Western Cinema Sunday next Sunday at 4. And I'm going to be joining Big Al Presents this Friday for Films with Friends, Humanoids from the Deep. I will have my weekend update at 11:30 Thursday. And stay tuned to my community page for any updates, programs, whatnot. I want to do a member stream this week, and I might be doing that in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. The court saw that I'm in your chat. They canceled your jury duty. Sorry, bro. No, don't worry about that. Don't blame you for taking the night off. Yeah. What did you think of what you sent? Let me. I'm trying to remember what that was. A number of people sent me a number of things in the last couple of days. I'm trying to remember. I know there's that link you sent for that movie. I do want to try and watch that sometime in the next day or two and review it. I did see Deadpool and Wolverine Thursday night. I am going to have a review soon. Okay, let me look real quick. Damn it. I'm sure it was fine, Connie, whatever it was. I'm trying to locate that now. Is it worth watching? Did woke destroy Deadpool? The movie is not woke. It is extremely unwoke. It is 100 proof Deadpool. Is it worth watching? I thought it was fine. Yeah. Oh, I have not seen the whole hour-long edition, Connie. But I am going to check that out when I get the opportunity. Agreed on Deadpool. Oh, good. Now you have my attention. Okay. Let's see. I know there was another question from Nate. Where do you purchase your physical media? Well, before they took physical media off their shelves, I used to go to Best Buy and Target and Walmart and all that kind of stuff, and that's where I got the bulk of my physical media. But there are other places that I go. I do go to Amazon because it's easier. Vinegar Syndrome is very good. I don't want to say Shout Factory because they've taken kind of a serious downturn of late, but there's somebody I used to go to. I'm hearing a lot about Diabolic in Orbit. I haven't done business with them yet, but I'm kind of looking through their websites right now. But that's basically the main. That's my main go-to right now are Amazon and Vinegar Syndrome. eBay, I don't deal with eBay a lot. That is an avenue to go, though. Are Blu-rays still being produced? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. All right. I want to get over and catch up with Geeky Geezers. So follow me over there to Aged Boomer's channel. I want to thank Boomer for being in the chat earlier. Also, Clue Channel, Connie Cleary. I want to thank Curtis, Tim, Nate, Jacob Ironside, DJ Ronnie G, Sashi D. Penzak, and everyone who followed along on Twitter. I want to thank you. And everyone who watched, who didn't engage with the chat, which is perfectly fine, just as long as you enjoyed the show. And of course, thank you to everyone who didn't watch live. Please hit the like, share out the stream. Do right by yourself. And treat those around you the way you wish to be treated. From HQ and all points, north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, be safe, because this is how we win.